Back to the channel, Bridging the Gap, Student to Engineer, where STEM professionals provide advice to students. This video is a school deep dive into the University of California, Santa Cruz. The school provides a dynamic dashboard that doesn't provide a whole lot of information, but just enough so we can glean some information out of it. So let's get right into it. The University of Santa Cruz makes their data available through their website, through institutional research, analytics, and planning support on their first destination survey. I will provide this link so you can go to it and dig into it if you would like. So a couple things to point out as we get into this. The results that are in this data are from a pretty wide range of years. When we do these videos, we usually filter on the last year or the last 2 years, depending on how things are. This dashboard doesn't give us the ability to filter that way, so the data is from quite a wide range of years that includes COVID. Typically, the data for the COVID year dipped down and then came back pretty quickly for the following years. So anyway, we will just look at what we have given the information and the ability we have to filter it or not. Just understand as we go through this that it is a pretty wide range of years. Okay, so let's start with employers. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, all of these big tech companies that are in California, though Amazon is in a lot of places. So UC Santa Cruz does feed into a lot of those companies. This is the beginning of 25, and that industry has had some turbulent times. So good to understand that over that wide range of years, the employers have been in a lot of these companies, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. Then aside from those, we've got Raytheon, General Motors, Northrop Grumman, some of these other large companies that are in defense and space. So that is one of the big industries on the California coast and in California in general. So not surprising there, but something to note. Something I also think is interesting is that self-employed is so high for new grads in engineering. That's interesting. I have not seen that on any other school website. And then we get into job titles, engineer, software engineer. These are, none of these are surprising. There is a pretty big focus on computer type roles, which kind of goes with the employers that are listed. Okay, and then let's look at post-graduation plans. So knowing that this survey is open for 6 months after graduation, we've got 38 employed full-time, 15 going to grad school. So 15% going to grad school is pretty low. Typically for engineering schools that will be in the 20s. 25% is about typical. The highest we've seen is upward of 50. 15 is very, very low for going to grad school. But what is extremely high is seeking employment. So for 38% of the new grads to still be looking for work for that time up to 6 months after graduation is extremely high. I did note that the data is for a number of years, including the COVID time, so we don't know if that is their current number, but even if it's come down significantly, that is still very concerning. Let's see what other data they have make available to us. So 533 grads reported their salary, and there is a huge range of what that salary is. If you are going to UC Santa Cruz, don't expect to be in these upper numbers, 130,000, 160,000. Typical for engineering grads in 2025, 2024 is about 80,000, and that looks like about middle of the pack for UC Santa Cruz, maybe a little bit higher, which is not surprising given their location in California. All right, so we'll just skip the grad school portion and go down to number of internships. So to me, this is very, very important for engineering students to get some sort of work experience while they're in school, whether that's an internship or co-op. We do have a video describing the difference between those two and the similarities, so you can check that out. I'll provide the link in the upper portion of your screen. But let's just look at the data from UC Santa Cruz. So for engineering students in the school, 47%, so almost half the grads have no internship experience while they're in school. That is not very good. I expect that that is somehow related and directly feeds into that high percent of students that are not getting jobs after graduation. On the other hand, we've got 27% with one, and then up to 4 sessions of internships, so those are really good. When we look at how much they make, right now you should not have any unpaid internships, particularly in engineering. So this is concerning that there's 14% that are unpaid. And then some of these lower numbers are, looking at minimum wage. Typical engineering internships are in the $20 an hour range. And so I'd like to see that these numbers, these percents are high, that the grads are getting paid something that works. But it is concerning that some of these are pretty low. Now we scroll down to the ways of finding the internship. This is also concerning to me. What I like to see is that grads or students are getting internships through the school, whether that's an on-campus job fair or either their contacts from the school, the job fair, and possibly job posting sites. But the best is these first two. So only 22% of the students that got their internships got it through means where the school is helping them significantly. By far the largest category is personal networks, so family and friends. Not great, particularly for those students that don't have family and friends who can give them a job. So it is also concerning to me that the data that we're seeing here for internships. That is all the information from UC Santa Cruz. I hope that was helpful. As you're continuing your college search, please check out our other videos. We've got general advice about choosing a school. We have videos about various majors and where those can take you. And so I encourage you to check those out.